What's going on YouTube? Got the Christmas theme going today. We got a package today. It's the one I've been excited about since ever I won the auction. I'm hoping these coins are just as nice as I think they are. It was a little tough. Some of the photos are not as clear, but this is pretty cool. So this particular item was shipped out on the 13th, and I got it on the 14th, so the very next day. So huge advantage of buying when you're purchasing from a state over. I'm in Illinois. I believe this seller was in Indiana. So let's open this up and see what we got. Right off the bat, I get like a little sense of cigarette smell. So the seller obviously smokes. So, but it doesn't really matter with coins, right? So in here we're gonna have a lot of 10 Canadian silver dollars. They're all gonna be old. I think the newest one's from 1952, and the oldest one will be 1935. So not something you see all the time, especially here in the United States. We don't really get to see that many silver dollars, and this particular group is going to be really cool. So let's check it out here. So let's start with this has to be the 1935, so that has King George V. I believe that was his last year or his second to last year of reigning, and that's on 1935. Let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can see these coins. I'm not going to take them out of the holders. I don't have gloves. It's so funny. Like, so you think like these white gloves last a while. I got like a package of them, and just after like 2 weeks of use, like just again putting coins in my hand, taking photos, they get pretty nasty. So I don't want to touch any of these newer ones. All these coins will be listed in my store, my eBay store. So if you want to purchase them, you can check it out. So again, this is not just a hey guys, look what I bought, you can't have it. This is literally like, hey, I bought this. It's a smoking deal. And if you're into Canadian silver dollars, or even if you're not, these are going to be some beautiful, beautiful examples. So right off the bat, actually, let me get my information sheet. So all the Canadian silver dollars I'm going to show you are 80% silver, and I think they weigh 20. Oh wait, hold. I think they weigh. Is it 31? Okay, I'm going to take one of these out. I'll just touch the edges here. I think it's 31.4 grams. Let's see here. Oh, I'm way off. 23. Yeah, it's 23.33 grams or whatever is what they're supposed to weigh. Well, I guess while I have this one out, again, as long as I don't touch the actual face of the coin, it's fine. So this is a really, really great example. This was back to when the crown was down, and then it wasn't cool to have a crown on your head anymore. Go figure, right? I guess it wasn't socially acceptable to put it on the coinage anymore. The reverse is the same. It's like two dudes in a canoe. I don't know if they're Indians or Canadians, but I'm guessing canoe life was pretty popular. A lot of lakes up there, right? But this is really cool. Like, it's got the king's original like garb on. Obviously having a beard was cool, but then check it out. Like, all of a sudden it was not cool to have a beard. It was more cool to be clean shaven and not have a crown. So roaring 20s, I guess, right? Even though this one's from 1935. But you got to remember, this is like the last year of the king, George V, as far as on coinage goes. So anyways, it's a really beautiful design. I like the size of this coin as well. So it's a big coin. I think they're 36 millimeters. So to put that in perspective, let me grab a quarter. I got a jacked up Liberty quarter that I filmed on my last photo or my last video. So this is a U.S. Standing Liberty quarter. It might be from 1916 and be worth $3,000, but you'll never know because there's not mint mark. But anyways, I just want to put this in perspective. So I like the Canadian silver dollars. They're nice, chunky, good sized coins. And if you can get them in nice BU quality, it's definitely a score. So this 1935, and if you guys don't mind, like I'm literally gonna go over like the mintages. Like I wrote all this stuff down, so it's not by memory. So in 1935, they made 428,707 examples of this. So very, very cool to have one of these in my possession. I'm probably gonna list this for $125. It is beautiful, really, really nice example. Like you don't see that stuff all the time. All right, so let's get next one going here. So the next one, it's King George the Fifth. So that's a V and an I. That's the fifth. If this I is before V, it's the fourth. And yeah, I've always messed that up my entire life. But this is from 1937. And the 1937 had a very low mintage of only 207,406. But let's see, I would say this is a nice lower BU. I'd probably list this one for $50, and someone would be super happy to get it. So that's a really beautiful coin for $50. Let's look at the next group here. And these are in order. So the next one here is, again, with the same theme. We're going to have King George the Sixth on the rest of these coins. So the obverse are all going to look the same, but I want you to see like the different qualities of it. And in 1938, very low mintage, only 90,304 of these minted. And this quality of coin, I would say it's a good, let's see, do you guys think that's BU? Yeah, I think it's BU. And I don't see any signs of cleaning. So something like this, I would say $85 all day long. And that's just based on what I see on eBay. Now, if you guys are dealers or, you know, you get better deals at your local coin shop or in Canada, if you guys get better deals, again, I'm just using eBay comparable sales and what's available for sale to determine the pricing. So don't go crazy on me saying, hey, that's really, really high. Again, I just base it off of what's available on eBay and what is sold. Next is a 1939. So what a huge difference in mintages a year makes. So this must be some kind of commemorative year. They minted 1,363,816 of the 1939. So it is a beautiful example. It's a definitely BU example. So I'll probably list this for $45, and someone will be happy to add that to collection. But huge difference, right? 1938, 90,000 minted, and then we get into 1.3 million the following year. So maybe there were some issues in 1938, or this commemorative was such a big deal. They decided to blow up the mintages the following year. Next, we're going to have, these are like really, really good key dates. So super happy to have this added to my store. The 1945, I think, is the second lowest minted silver dollar with King George the Sixth on it. Let me look here. Yeah, 38,391 of these were minted. That's it. That's got to be because of because of the war at the time. Canada was busy like the United States was, making bombs and tanks and stuff like that, and weapons, not so much minting. Or the metals were probably harder to find because they're using the metals to make other stuff. So in this quality, and this is really, really sharp. I mean, it's a nice looking coin. It definitely has reflective qualities on both sides. I don't see any signs of cleaning. They're super hard to find. I'm going to probably put this in my shop for $525, and it'll probably be a steal for someone. I think if these are like come back, don't get me wrong, guys, I think if these come back like mint state 62 or 63, I think they're like $800 to $1,200 coins. So someone will be happy to pick this up, send it in to get graded, and then if it comes back, even a mint state 62, they'll probably double up their money invested in the coin. The next year is not as key as the 45, so the 1946, and this one is not as nice looking. This one here, I would guess, is they call it a slider. So this would be like an AUBU. You can tell, right? Like, it's just a difference here in the two coins, especially on the reverse. It's definitely not as sharp and defined as the 45 key date. But the 46, they didn't make a lot of these either. 93,055 total minted in the world. So this 46, even though it's not as nice of quality, it's like an AUBO slider. I'm going to be asking $100 for that. And that'll be awesome. Next, it jumps all the way to the 1949. And this is amazing looking. Man, even like the edges are really sharp. And look at the obverse on this. It definitely has like a cameo look and super reflective. This is probably the 49 is not. They did make a ton of. I mean, they made 600. The mintage is 672,218. But I've seen proof like. It's weird. Like NGC calls them like they grade them SP, like a special mint, like a enhanced type of graded coin. But I think there's like an SP 67 listed for like $6,500, and then there's a 64 or 65. But this definitely has proof-like qualities. So even though they made a bunch of these, I think for $150, like, this looks as nice as the one that's listed for like $6,200. So I might be completely stupid listing this in my store for $150 only. I'm not going to send this in to get graded, but I think if someone picks this up, sends it in to get graded, and it comes back in the SP designation from NGC, you got yourself a $2,000 coin like all day long. But again, like, that's the risk you take, right, when you send it in. But this thing is beautiful, man. If the 45 was in this condition of this 49, this 45 would be like a $12,000 coin because it's so rare, and in that condition is beautiful. Next, we have the 1950. So 1950 is nothing special. It does have a lower mintage than the 49. It's 261,000. And in this type of quality, again, this definitely has some mirrors going on either side. And just beautiful example. This definitely is going to be a $100 coin just because of the look of it, the eye appeal. But man, that 49 is beautiful. It's a really cool ship too. What ship is this? It's the Florite Terra Nova. Imagine all the treasure being carried on that ship back in the day. I'm totally ignorant. I have no idea what makes that ship popular. If anyone in the chat knows why Canada decided to put that on their coin in 1949. It was an anniversary of a sinking of a ship. It's a famous war they won with the ship. Be kind of cool if someone in the comments could say what that's all about so I don't have to look it up on the internet. Next is a 1951. And these are more common. They're not as common as like the 60s with Queen Elizabeth on it, but they minted 416,395 of these in this quality, even with the little nick on the neck. It's definitely a BU coin, but there's a lot of these out there, so I would say this easily would be your higher BU type quality just because of the look of it. So that's definitely going to be a $40 coin in my shop. And then the 52. So here's something with the 52 that you want to look for. They call it a no water lines. So, and I haven't really seen any videos on this on the internet. So this is what it's all about. So I'm going to zoom in, and what you want to look for is check out the canoe. This dude's like, he's huffing and puffing. They got some furs or something, that they're trading. But see between the canoe and the edge of the coin, it's just literally like the island in the background. So they call this no water lines. Now, if you look at the 1951 right above it, see the water lines? So there's 1, 2, 3, or 4 water lines, and they're on the left side of the canoe. Let me see if I can get something to point it better than my big old fat finger in the frame. So this is what I'm looking at. So we're looking at this part of the coin on a 52 and this part. See, no water lines. But on a 51 above it, see the 3 lines here, the lines here. Those are called water lines. So it's not a super rare variety, but it does make the coin, I guess, a little cooler than one without water lines, or with water lines. It's a little more rare. But in this quality, it's a decent coin. Again, I'm going to probably ask $40 for this one. So if you're looking for a 1952 with no water lines, I've got the coin for you. So anyways, I was super happy to pick these up. It was very cool to deal with the seller again. This is, I think, the 4th purchase I've made from them. I've got my Netherland coins from them. I got some Morgans from them in the past. They've all sold really, really well. Obviously, the Netherland ones are going to be slower sellers, so are these dollars. But I think someone from Canada, or if you collect Canadian silver dollars, these are awesome. Like, you don't come across these every day, especially in a raw condition, especially on some of these key dates. So this is, to teach you guys, if you do find something like this, look for the 1945. That's definitely a key date. 46 would be like the 3rd most popular key date. And then obviously condition is everything. Like, man, if they all look like this 49, I'd have a lot of value. I mean, I do have a lot of value in my hands. So what was really cool about this deal as well is I got all 10 of these coins for $270 with shipping included. So that makes each one of these like $27. And I think I'm going to be making a decent profit on every single one of them. Probably close to, like, after eBay fees and everything, I'll probably be making like an $800 profit. Now that's me guessing that these are all going to sell. I think with these nicer ones, if these nicer ones do not sell, like if someone's kind of scared of them, I might send them in to get graded, and then I can just take them into the coin shop. And worst case, the coin shop will give me, a gray sheet value on a graded coin. So I love when I can find deals like this, and it's something that is not super well known here in the United States, but I mean, it is more, people will buy this kind of stuff here in the States, and they are beautiful coins. So that's the other thing too. It's like, besides, rarity and this and that, because there are very rare coins out there that nobody cares about because they're freaking ugly, whereas these all look really nice. And I like, for some reason, I like the bigger coins. I always have. So if you saw in my prior video, I got rid of all my American Silver Eagles. That's because I'm getting into more of the numismatic stuff, the harder to find stuff, the stuff that's going to hold its value. I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. I get excited when spot goes up, but I don't get excited when the premiums go up when spot goes down. Like, to me, that's super annoying. So rather than chase that up and down with bullion, I'd rather find really cool finds like this and then share it with you guys. So this is not going into the Shai-Shuren Museum where you'll never see it again. This is going to be offered on eBay, and hopefully a month from now, these will be out of my inventory and replaced over and over and over again. So I enjoy getting coins like this in. I enjoy sharing them with you, and I also enjoy doing research on them, so that way when I come across them in the future, in my brain, I try and memorize, what these are all about. I think it is cool that some of these different years have different designs on the reverse, and I did learn something about the water lines. And if someone could tell me what's up with the ship in 1949, that would be cool in the chat. But just goes to show you, you never know where you're going to find some value. And again, it helps to like buying from the same seller that you've had a good experience from before as well. Because I've bought other stuff on auction, and sometimes I won't get it for like 3 weeks, and it's super annoying. With this guy, super cool to get it literally like next day. But again, that's because we're in the next state over, and we're moving and grooving with our post office. So appreciate you guys watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. I'll be getting more stuff in, and pretty soon, I don't know if it'll be later this week or early next week, I'm going to go to my LCSs in the area, and I'm going to go just hunting for really awesome coins to use all that American Silver Eagle money and all the deadbeat coins I had in my shop forever. So I'm going to use that money and kind of double up on that and just kind of go wild, because now is the time to buy this kind of stuff. People are hurting for money. Dealers are flush with inventory. This is when you make your move into stuff like this, or just add to your collection and you don't have to compete really with others. So it's nice to be able to find stuff like that. So again, please like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.